Today we are adding page 38, multi-step inequalities. And when we add this in, we should have our title page on the left, page 38, and then page 39, the justification one. Okay, so looking at multi-step inequalities, okay, we're gonna solve multi-step inequalities just like we solve equations. Right? The rule before was our two-step inequalities. We solved just like equations. So same thing, except we have to remember when we are going to flip the inequality sign. Okay, and that rule was that we would flip the inequality sign whenever we multiplied or if we divided. So if we multiply or divide by a negative. Now remember, it has to be that step where we're solving, not just a negative or positive anywhere in the problem at all. Okay, it has to be the number you're actually moving to the other side of the inequality through multiplication or division to be where we need to flip the sign. Okay, all of our other steps are going to be the same. So if we go through the rules, step 1 says if there are parentheses. Okay, if we look at this problem, there are parentheses, so we are going to distribute. So 3 times x gives us a 3x. 3 times a negative 2 gives us a negative 6. Now keep in mind, if we were distributing a negative 7 or even a negative 3, distributing is not a piece of solving, that's just simplifying, so that is not a reason to flip the inequality sign. Okay, once we've distributed, there's no other like terms or anything to get together. This is just a basic two-step equation. So we will undo subtraction with addition. We'll get 3x equals 11. And we will undo our multiplication with division. And we will get x equals 11 over 3. You could obviously write that in another equivalent form. So you could do 3 2/3 or 3.6 repeating. Okay, number 2. Okay, so if we look at this problem, large fraction, right? We have addition or subtraction happening in the top, so that's grouped together. So we're gonna undo our division with multiplication first. Is multiplying by negative 5 a reason to flip the sign? Yes, it is, right? So now we have an 8 plus x is greater, right? That was the reason to flip the sign. I said yes, but I didn't write it when I actually wrote it down there. Okay, so make sure you get that sign flipped. Okay, negative 60. We will move our 8, so we'll undo adding 8 by subtracting 8. And we will get x is less than or equal to negative 68. Okay, on our next one, so number 3. Right, we're starting to get a little bit more advanced here. Okay, are there parentheses? Nope. Are there like terms to combine? No. Is there variables on both sides? Nope. Is there a large fraction? Yes, right? And our large fraction is happening right here. So our rule was to 1, isolate it, which means we can't have anything else sitting over here that isn't circled or boxed. Right? And that's this negative 4. So we're going to move this negative 4 by adding 4. Adding and subtracting is never a reason to flip the sign. Okay, we're going to undo our division with multiplication. We multiplied by a positive 4. So even though that 10 was negative, we multiplied by a positive 4, so that is not a reason to flip the sign. And we will get a is less than or equal to negative 30. Number 4. Okay, no parentheses. But we definitely do have like terms that we need to consider on this one, right? We have a b here and we have a b here. Now, don't let that 1/4 freak you out. We're still just combining like terms. So this is irrelevant right now. We want 11b minus 4b. They are on the same side, so we are going to use the same sign. Okay, so it's going to be a 7b plus 1/4. We haven't done anything yet across the equal sign, or the inequality sign, so we sure aren't flipping it. Okay, now we're just gonna undo addition and subtraction. So we undo adding 1/4 by subtracting 1/4. Worst case situation, you're using your calculator. Subtracting is never a reason to flip the sign. And then we are going to undo multiplication with division. Okay, so again, if you need to use your calculator, that's fine. Let's see, we're going to divide this by a 7. We are dividing by a positive, so we're not flipping the sign. However, right, we have mentioned this multiple times. Some of you, it really got you on the last knowledge check of making sure that we remember that variable being first is really important, especially when we go to graph it. So putting this b first and flipping this inequality sign when we rewrite it is really a key piece to consider. Okay, now we can take all of that knowledge that we've done and put it together with taking a problem and solving it and then justifying our steps. No real changes here. We are still wanting to talk about the what we did, okay, the where we did it, and the why we did it. We need to include those 3 pieces every single time. Okay, so if we look at this problem up here, there is a large fraction. So we need to isolate it. So our very first step is going to be to move this adding 4. So I'm subtracting 4 from both sides. These cancel. That is not a reason to flip the sign. 2 minus 4 gives me a -2. Okay, so when I explain it, what did we do? Okay, we subtracted 4 from both sides. Right? What we did, we subtracted 4 from both sides. Sorry guys, the background noise is out on the football field. Okay, so we subtracted 4 from both sides because now we have to do the why, because subtraction is the inverse of addition. Okay, you could also maybe say, because it is the inverse operation of addition, right? We've sort of talked about those different wordings you might be able to use. Okay, then we're gonna go to our next step. Now we're gonna have to move this denominator. So we're gonna undo dividing by -9 by multiplying by -9. Okay, so those cancel. Is multiplying by -9 a reason to flip the sign, right? And our answer there should be yes. So that inequality sign is gonna flip directions, and we'll get a +18. But now we need to justify our step. We need to explain it. Okay, so what did we do? Okay, we multiplied by -9. Where did we do it? On both sides. Okay, why did we do it? Because it's the inverse operation of division. But we're not quite done yet on this one because we had one other piece to do, right? We also have to flip the inequality sign, right? So we flipped the inequality sign. And we talked about this before. The where, I mean, it's only in one place, so there's no confusion there. We flipped the inequality sign. Okay, why? Because we multiplied by a negative. Okay, some of you are really trying to get out of writing, okay, and then you're losing the points because you're not giving me that full definition. Okay, so our next step. Now we just have this addition to undo, so I'm going to undo addition with subtraction. That's not a reason to flip the sign. Okay, so in our explanation, what did we do? We subtracted 2. Where did we do it? on both sides. Why did we do it? Because it's the inverse operation of addition. We don't really need to carry that solution over here. It's totally fine, right? My solution's a little bit high, but it's there.